Hi there, I'm Sandra. I'm with R.E.A.L World Learners, and my other name on Facebook is Raising Math Superstars. So you'll see any number of names here. I'm one of the featured vendors for this week, and I have a whole lineup of giveaways, freebies, lots of conversations, and things to share with you guys about math this week. So wanted to come on at the beginning of the week and just give you a little intro into who I am and the resources that I have to share with you. And if you're catching this live or on the replay, leave a comment. I'd love to hear what level math, so either ages, grades, math curriculum, anything about the kind of math that you're working with this year, because it helps give me some feedback so I can help you as best as I can. Okay, so my name is Sandra. I am a former math teacher. I have a master's in teaching and 6 years experience in the classroom, junior high, high school, and online. And then I've been a math tutor for 20 plus years. And for the past 7 years, I've been homeschooling my own kids. I have 3.5, one kid on the way. So while I've been homeschooling, I've also been creating homeschooling resources, and those very quickly I kind of narrowed my niche into math because I am a math teacher, a math person. I love math. And through all my tutoring and teaching, I've really discovered that I love helping kids conquer their math anxiety and get to a point where they understand math and see the big picture ideas. So all of the courses, resources, hands-on activities, games, lap books, I'll talk you through some of those in a minute. But my big goal with everything I've been creating is to bring kids to a point where they have a solid understanding of how math works. And everything they're learning, they own the understanding. They're not just memorizing facts. They're not just seeing everything as isolated events, like this chapter we're doing this, then we do this, and then there's a variation on it. So I kind of think about math is often taught like spelling rules. You may have to forgive me if you're a spelling person, but with spelling rules, you learn the rules and then there's all the exceptions, and it's kind of all these things to learn. So I like to present math not in that way, but as a holistic experience where there's one fundamental line and everything fits in it. So when you're learning addition, when you're learning multiplication, you don't learn one way and then say, well, in case we need to borrow, then you do this. In case we have 3 digits instead of 2, you do this. But just present it in one way that they get the idea, and then they can build on that themselves. And it boosts their confidence. It really helps kids get past the kind of pervasive math anxiety that time tests, worksheets, textbooks can bring up, depending on your kids' personalities. But often, if they're forced into something and they're memorizing something without the fundamental understanding, it just kind of brings up this fear, and then that fear becomes a wall that they can't really get past. So I'm here to share with you everything that I've created, everything that I've learned myself, and I want to help your kids succeed in math, have fun doing it, and have a solid foundation, no gaps, and something they can really build on in the future. So that's the big idea behind who I am, what I do. If you haven't heard me say it yet, I'd love to hear from you. So as you're listening, leave me any comments with what kind of math you're working with this year, if there's anything in particular that you need help with your kids. And I'm going to share my screen. So I won't be able to see comments as I go, but I'll come back and check on them. I'm going to share some of the resources that I have. And I want it to be like this and this. Okay, so, preview as logged out user. Okay, so the main thing that I'll be sharing with you this week, and if you've already been on this page, you've seen my giveaway for this. It's also linked in the description. I have a whole new line this year, starting in a couple of weeks actually, of live classes. Sorry for the shaking. Where I've taken my entire self-paced course. So that's what you're looking at on the screen here. I have a self-paced course that takes kids through all of their math facts, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, up through like triple digits and beyond in each one of those. So from the very basic number sense all the way up through everything they would need to know about those fundamental math facts. So I've taken those courses, which are still available. If you prefer a self-paced, or if you're in a different time zone and my live classes won't work, these are a really great option. Between all the courses, there's hundreds of pages of printable activities. The games, a lot of what I'm doing is based on hands-on activities and games to get kids really engaged and kind of break down those fear walls so that they're enjoying the learning process. So I've taken these courses and turned them into a whole series of live interactive classes that are really focused on one particular skill. So I have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So that breaks down the entire course, because the complete course here covers pre-K to third grade level math, which is a lot. If you're kind of at the end of that spectrum and you only need help with multiplication and division, for instance, you could just take a couple weeks of like a turbo boost math supplement class and focus on those skills. Or if you're at the very beginning and you don't know if you want third grade math, but you have a 4 or 5 or 6-year-old and you want to help them get started just building a really solid foundation in number sense, then you can come up here and do 2 weeks of the live classes. So they're all targeted at kind of more narrow topics and more narrow age groupings. So 4 to 6-year-olds have a different, tone in the class than working with 7 to 10-year-olds. But I've been having so much fun teaching these classes. It's good to be back with my teacher hat on and working with kids and getting that one-on-one connection to see how they're reacting to it, help them use the manipulatives and make those connections about how math works, why it works the way it does. So I'm super excited about this. I've been doing several of these courses, but I'm hitting the ground running September and October. I'm offering all 8, I believe, of these courses, and they're about half an hour each, meeting 2 to 3 days a week. So they're really like turbo boost math classes to get your kids fill in gaps or give them a solid foundation if they're encountering any of these concepts for the first time. Okay, so I do have the giveaway that's linked above is for one of these classes for free. And all you need to do is kind of scroll around, check them out, let me know what you like about them or why you would be interested in it. So that's like the main thing that's coming up. They start September 2nd, I believe, and run through those 2 months. Some of the other things I'll be talking about, I wanted to mention just here in this intro video, is this one here, the Math for Fun monthly units. And I am checking because I always hope that my screen is showing up the way I intend it to. So I'll check on my phone here and make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. The Math for Fun monthly math activity units. This is a series. It's a growing bundle. So there's 5 units and there will be 10, more or less releasing 1 a month. And these are focused on the other strands of math. So I have the whole fundamentals of math covered. Scrolling to see if it's showing up. And we're seeing the same screen. I'm so thankful. Okay. So the fundamental addition, subtraction, multiplication, division that I just talked about is covered with the self-paced course and the live courses. But then on top of it, there's all the other strands of math. There's time, money, measurement, graphing, probability, statistics, math history, all kinds of things that are covered in textbooks and sometimes beyond the textbook, just fun things, math, art, a lot of geometry things that are more hands-on and real world, but don't often fit on a test or in a textbook. So I've created activity units that really get at the real world side of math and the fun side of math and seeing it in your own environment. So this is kind of what I call beyond the textbook, getting kids engaged in math that they can see, they can touch, they can understand in their own environment. And just through kind of mini project-based learning activities. So those are really fun. You can check that out if you want to see more. And the cost of this complete bundle grows as I add more units to it. So right now I think I have it set at $27, but it will be up to at least $65 by the time it's done. So at any point you get this, you get all the future units added for free. Okay, and then we have graphs. This is the beta version, but it's a very low cost. It has everything in it, but I will be updating it to a more official course at some point. I think it's only $15 right now. And then math art, I'll be talking a lot more about that one. I want to have a whole probably video dedicated to that one. But my just brief story is math art is a fascinating way to get kids involved in seeing math as the language of the universe. They, looking for patterns everywhere all around you. Really, it's a unit study because you see it in architecture, you see it in art, you see it in history. The way that the Egyptians built the pyramids follows the golden ratio. And the golden ratio is something that's inherent to it. Like that ratio shows up in our DNA. It shows up in the galaxies of the universe and everywhere in between. So seeing math in this new way that often, even if it's in textbooks, it doesn't get covered. And I can say that because I was a junior high and high school math teacher, and it occasionally was in the textbooks, but we never had time for it. So this is my way of going back and filling in those gaps and providing a way to supplement a more traditional curriculum and give kids a taste of what math really is and how it's maybe not necessarily used, but seen in the world around you. And then applying that to fun projects. So they'll be making little math art masterpieces as they go through. Okay, so that's my super quick kind of overview of the courses. I do have a link as well, but I'm going to come back on screen here to my TPT store, which has about 100 kind of smaller standalone resources. And those include lap books, hands-on activities, graphic organizers, all kinds of things, again, with the view of getting kids engaged in math and seeing it in a fun way. So most of it at this point covers pre-K to 3rd or 4th grade level. I do have a line of algebra products, and I'll be building those out because that's another one of my big passions is teaching algebra. So that's it for now. I'll be here all week, happy to answer questions and see what I can do to help you guys, help your kids enjoy math more. All right, take care. Bye.